Welcome back, grade 12s. Now we'll be looking at conversions and calculation involving units of volume. So what's important here? Volume, the three-dimensional space occupied by a gas, a liquid or solid substance. The word capacity also refers to volume. And then we have liquid volumes, that's your basic unit is liter. Then other units will be milliliters and kiloliters. Solid volumes, basic unit is cubic centimeters, and other units will be your cubic millimeters and cubic meters, for example. Then estimation of volume can be useful. For example, when we're pouring enough water into a kettle for 3 cups of coffee, selecting a container to store excess cooking oil. Measuring instruments, that will include your spoons, cups, jugs, bottles, and so forth. Now, same principle will apply here. Again, and I'm going to look at this by just referring to you. Here, it is big to small. We will multiply. I indicate that on top as well. And then again, when we convert from small to big, we will divide by the conversion factor. So what are those factors I'm referring to? So here, from kiloliters to liters to milliliters, you can see that's big to small. I will multiply. And then from milliliters to liters to kiloliters, that's now small to big. I will divide. Now let's look just in a table form, right? Same thing that I've explained now. Kiloliters to liters, I will multiply by 1,000. And again, conversion factor, as you can note here, is 1,000. Then what else is important here, grade 12? 1 cup equals 250 milliliters. 1 tablespoon, 15 milliliters. And then we say that 1 teaspoon equals 5 milliliters. This we'll put in practice in the next few sums. Now, here's other things that I want you to take note of as well. When we convert, and please note, you don't have to memorize this. When the examiners give you a sum like this, or that involves this, we have to include it. All right, so 1 milliliter equals to 1 cubic centimeter equals to 1 gram. Also important, 1,000 liters equals 1 cubic meters. Okay, grade 12, so let's look at a few other examples. I'm saying here, convert the following, 34 liters to milliliters. So I'm converting from big to small, so therefore I will multiply. So I'll say 34 multiplied by 1,000, and that will give me 3,400, and that will be milliliters. Okay, sorry, that will be 34,000 milliliters. Then if we move on, I have 8,7 kiloliters, and that I must convert to liters. So again, I'm converting from big to small, so therefore I'll have to multiply. The conversion factor here is 100. So therefore I'm going to say 8,7 multiply, the conversion factor is 1,000, so I multiply by 1,000, so that will give me 8,700, and that will be, in this case, liters. Then lastly, if you look at 1.3, it gives us 45,789,000 milliliters, and that must be converted into kiloliters. So therefore, I must first convert from milliliters into liters, and thereafter from liters to kiloliters. So I'm converting from small to big. Conversion factor here is 1,000. So I'll say 45,789,000. That I will divide by 1,000 first. That will take me to liters. Thereafter, I will divide by 1,000 again, because now I'm converting from liters into kiloliters, and that will give me an answer of 45,789, and this time around, that will be kiloliters. Grade 12, we have a few more to do, so I'm saying calculate the total volume of liquid in liters, right? So I have 3 cups of milk, I have 5 tablespoons of food coloring, and 45 milliliters of coffee. Again, I must decide in which unit I want to work. So I'm going to convert 3 cups of milk. So I'm going to say 3. Remember we said 1 cup is approximately 250 milliliters. So that will give me a total of 750 milliliters. Then I have 5 tablespoons. I multiply that by 15. Right? So if I say 5 multiplied by 15, what should I get? I'll get 75. So that gives me 75 milliliters. Then you'll see the coffee is already in milliliters. So that is 435 milliliters. Now all your units are exactly the same. So I'm going to say now 750 plus 75 plus 435, and that will give me an answer of 1,260. But note, this is milliliters. And the question itself says it must be in liters. We indicated that there in bracket. So therefore, I take this and I divide it by 1,000. So if I do this calculation, I'll be left with 1,26 liters. I hope that makes sense. All right, grade 12, then we have another sum here. I'm saying a Jojo tank holds 25 cubic meters of water. How many kiloliters of water is that? So remember we said earlier on that 1,000 liters equals 1 cubic meter. Here we have 25 cubic meters. So what will I say? Therefore, I say 25 multiplied by 1,000. So that will give me 25,000 liters. But remember, we must answer in kiloliters. So therefore, I go and I say 25,000 liters divided by 1,000. And that will give me 25 kiloliters. Hope that makes sense. Remember, this conversion will be given to you, so you don't have to go and memorize that. Then, grade 12, if I look at it, a small bottle contains 10 milliliters of liquid. Calculate the total mass calculate the total mass, the liquid and bottle, if the bottle itself weighs 60 grams. We said that 1 milliliter equals 1 gram. So therefore, I'm going to convert this 10 milliliters. So I'll take the 60 grams and I'm going to convert this milliliters into grams as well. So that will become 10 grams. So therefore, if I add the two together, I'll have 70 grams. Okay, grade 12, I hope that makes sense. Now let's look at conversions and calculation involving units of temperature. Now just a bit of background. Temperature, that's the measurement of how hot or cold a substance or an object is. The basic units of temperature vary according to which country in the world you live in. And then we know in South Africa we refer to degrees Celsius, and then like obviously in the Americas we refer to degrees Fahrenheit. Then estimation of temperature is useful in daily activities, such as when getting dressed, for example, to determine how hot or cold your food should be. Then typical measuring instruments that include thermometers such as digital, mercury, as well as your infrared. Now I would like us to look at the different formulae. So first of all, I have degrees Celsius equals degrees Fahrenheit minus 32 degrees divided by 18. And then in order to calculate degrees Fahrenheit, you'll say 1,8 multiplied by degrees Celsius plus 32. Now let's put this into practice. I'm saying here, question number 1, convert 37 degrees Celsius into degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so what's important? Step number 1, let's start with our formula. Remember, we must convert from Celsius to degrees Fahrenheit. So I'll start by saying degrees Fahrenheit equals to, open bracket, 1,8 multiplied by your degrees Celsius plus 32. Right, so that's your step 1. Step number 2, I'm going to substitute into this formula now. So I want to know what is this 37 degrees Celsius as degrees Fahrenheit. So I keep 1,8 and I say that multiply by 37 plus 32. Now I'm going to simplify this third step. So if I say 1,8 multiplied by 37, I should get an answer of 66,6. Right? And therefore, I'm going to add it to, my apology for that, to 32. So in all, if I add the two values together, I'll have 98,6 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's the first one where I convert from degrees Celsius into degrees Fahrenheit. Let's look at another example here. The second one, I'm saying convert 81 Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius. So this time around, I'm changing, right? So step number 1, formula first. So what is the formula? So I'll say degrees Celsius equals to, open bracket, degrees Fahrenheit minus 32 degrees. Then I'll say divide by 1,8. Right? So step number 2, I'm going to substitute into this formula. I'm saying here that it's 81 Fahrenheit minus 32 degrees divide by 1,8. Right? So if I look at this, 81 minus 32, that should give you 49. Thereafter, I say 49 divided by 1,8. And that should give you an answer of 27,2. And that will be 27,2 degrees Celsius. Grade 12, we have come to the end of this lesson. I want to say thank you for your time, and I hope you've learned something today. See you soon.